Friday, February 14th, market analysis, Stan Ehrlich. I'm starting pretty late today, I'm sorry. 10:25 California time. You know I start out with the stock market indexes, go to futures, and then some other topics occasionally. Now, I've been expecting a bear move more so than we have seen in the last 3 weeks approximately. And frankly, at least a test of 58 approximately 13, 58, 10, let's call it, right in that area, the low that was made on January 13th. I still do think there's a good chance that we're going to be coming down to those levels. And if that's true, then we may have a double top and a move down into new low ground down to 54.50-ish. Now, we're not seeing that yet. I'm not getting the weakness I was expecting. This market is hanging in there, but we are a little lower on the day at the moment. We did get above yesterday's high. We could not get into new high ground so far, and that would be, for me, above 61.62. Now, that would probably make a new high for the whole damn trend. That's why I'm saying getting above 61.62 will do the job, but it's not doing that. I think, I hope, I expect we're going to have a little reversal today and close some lower. If we have a bearish engulfing, that would be the best. Then I expect it to start to dribble down some more. But I cannot get an ER signals red bearish signal because we're not overbought. Let's look at but I'm still looking at a top building here. But again, we're close to proving me wrong, and then I'll have to flip to being bullish because of a bullish breakout. But this is exactly like I was saying yesterday. The price levels approximately where it could fall apart or start to rocket to the moon. It's a very important price levels, and you can see that most of our trading range here on this 5-minute data is just stalling out, a little up, a little down, a little up, a little down today. So let's see what happens. I have to go either way if you want to go with the trend, which is not very well defined lately. Before that, of course, it was up. We've had a bull market for a long time, 2.5 years, something like that. And we're at a very important juncture in this little area that we're fiddling around in. Okay, the S&P 500 did make again today a new historic high. But like the last time, it made the new high and then closed lower on the day, and it was overbought, and that was back on January 23, 24. Now it's not overbought. If we continue to hold and close higher, especially higher than the previous historic high, I will have to turn bullish on the SPY. I would expect the E-mini, the ES, to do the same thing, but we'll see what happens. This is a prime level for failures, and that's what I'm watching for. A lower close today, the lower the better. If it's where it is right now, it's very iffy, very iffy. We'll have to see. Next, this is simply the 5-minute on the same thing. Up right where it's topped out before. Next, the QQQ. Also the same story. New high short term, last few weeks, but extremely close to the old historic high, also close to overbought, but not quite yet. So it's either make it or break it time. Next, 5-minute chart in the QQQ. You can see it just barely popped up here, and that's where we are. Not coming down yet. Okay, the NASDAQ futures, close to the exact same story, not quite at a new high. The QQQ is much closer to the highest high that was made on December 16th. The NQ, not quite as close for the futures contract. Okay, is it going to top out or not? I'm voting yes, but I sure don't have any friends at the moment. It looks like it's going to keep on going. I'm just not sure. I got to wait a little longer. You don't have to be in the market every damn second. You want to wait for the good signals. And so far, the YM has had a good signal on the top of the market. The YM is down a little bit on the day. There's been no higher high than the signal that was made on January 31st. It's not working very well, but it's not hurting me either. I just don't have a solid move up or down. Obviously, I want down. 5-minute chart on the YM. Okay. Now, the Russell, different animal completely. Major resistance, stopped it after several attempts at getting through this little resistance area. And we are between a rock and a hard spot, stuck ever since the middle of December. So it's been 2 full months that you have no trend downside follow through, you have no bullish upside follow through, and we're right back where we were basically 2 months ago. And the 5-minute chart on the Russell. Now, bonds touched the trend line, neckline yesterday. The head and shoulder bottom pattern is still good. Day before yesterday, Wednesday, touched the line, closed just a hair above the line, which is the neckline. The upside objective is still 117.5. We came very close a few days ago by getting up to 117, and that was simply the 7th of February, only a week ago. We still have an objective to get fulfilled, and maybe even higher. I think higher, almost assuredly higher. There is still a very broad double bottom in the bonds long term. It's 1.5 years approximately, close to 2 or something, but it's big. And that is extremely bullish long term. But right now, let's just concentrate on the head and shoulder bottom. A real good recovery. We're almost close to the highest close already. It might even go up a bit more today, like it was at one point. I'm certainly liking what I'm seeing. I'm certainly predicting a move up to 17.5, minimum 117.16, and more. The notes are not the same, 10-year notes. So they are at support and bounced off a support level very nicely Wednesday and coming up quick. Good. But there's no head and shoulder that really is viable anymore. That break was just too much on Wednesday. So I erased the pattern that I had there for several weeks. It didn't pan out. I couldn't justify it anymore. Next, but I'm bullish. Crude. Maybe a new low close today, coming down again, was oversold, not too badly, and did make a minor new low yesterday. You know, this thing could still be turning up, but I can't tell. I need to have it start to break some highs above 73.70. I'm going to reserve some commentary. No opinion at the moment on crude. Not sure. Enough to say much. Heating oil, very similar commentary. Not able to hold strength and not able to stay weak. So it's between a rock and a hard spot at the moment. And natural gas is overbought. Got right smack up to previous highs of major importance and stopped. That would be the previous major high on January 13. It reached it yesterday and today for all practical purposes, give or take a couple of ticks. The highs are the same and stopped. If it drops, you're going to get a bearish reversal, maybe an official red sell signal if it gets below yesterday's low. It doesn't look like it. It's still higher in the day by a chunk. So I got to expect a higher close. It's overbought. Watch out. This could end up being a double top. I wouldn't do anything about it yet, but it's close to being bearish. Right now, I can't say that, but I see it coming. It's not started. Next, gold. We have a brand new bearish engulfing in gold today. Yay! Outside down day, was overbought. Bearish engulfing, could not make a new high for the trend, but it got higher than yesterday's high. And boom, we have an ER1 scalp that's probably doing very well. It's way below yesterday's low right now. Great. Looking for lower levels, probably down to about 27.86 and maybe even lower. Next, we got very overbought on a false breakout of a resistance area on silver, and it is trading for all practical purposes unchanged. Up, nothing to speak of. 3 ticks, it looks like. It's, I think, about to have a bearish engulfing, will turn red if we get below yesterday's lows. Right now, it's a big failure to hold its strength, and I think it's going to start coming down. No official signal yet. Next, we have platinum. Big down day, well below the lows of the previous 2 days and almost 3 days ago after a very substantial rally. It did not get higher than yesterday's high. We would have had a bearish engulfing like the top of the market we had pinned to the day on October 30th, 24, like the sell signal that we had to the exact day on May 20th of 24. We didn't get it this time. Too bad. But I think we're on the way down. So I'm looking for a pretty good move down in platinum also. Copper. Another new bearish engulfing today in copper. Brand new sell signal under yesterday's low right now. Probably ER1 scalp is a profitable trade at the moment. I'm not showing you all of these things because it would take too much time. I'm bearish as of now, today, period. I'm looking for a move down to 4.5 at a minimum, probably 4.4. And I'm not ruling out something down as low as below 4.3. This could be, should be, a fairly good move down. Next, soybeans. Hey, coming up today. Long-term bullish bottoms in grain markets in general I've been trying to justify. I would love to see a close above 1082 for a major upside breakout of a broad double bottom from August to the lows in December. It almost did it a few days ago, missing by 2 cents. I think it's going to happen next week. Soybean oil, bullish, almost making new highs already, not quite, but I think it's going to continue to work higher, and it's got a head and shoulder bottom. Its neckline is way up here at 50.8, and its upside objective, if the whole pattern works correctly, is way up at 61.5 or higher. Soybean meal has a potential triple bottom. You got lows in June of 23. You got some lows in about March on the average of 24. And you've got some lows that are about the same level, a little lower, for a couple of days only, December of 24. That's a triple bottom. We are passing the test. Not very well, but passing the test. Support held yesterday very accurately, didn't make a new low, made a minor new high, up on the day at the moment. Let's see it get stronger, faster, quicker. I like what I see from the bullish side. Next, corn also made a new high for the whole trend up. Now, I think it has a chance of challenging 514 and even going higher than that. Trend is up, hanging in there. I'd love to see it close a little higher than the current quote, but if it doesn't today, I do think it's going to do it next week. We're nowhere near overbought. Next, wheat. It's up at the highs. It's up at a new resistance level at almost 600. We have a double bottom, major upside breakout at 635. We're almost 600 right now, another 35 cents more. I will put what they call a ray. It's a trend line, but it's just easier to draw it flat right there. So that's my upside breakout for the double bottom. It will have an upside objective I've already measured, and that's up to 738. This is looking great. Minor problem at the moment, it's overbought. So a little downside correction for a few days, but I stress little, and then up again. Next, and it could still go up for a few days and then turn down. But we're close to a minor correction. New lows in cattle. Good. Looking for lower levels. I'm talking 191, 2. Yep. And maybe even a bit lower than that. But now we're starting to get closer and closer to oversold and support. So most of this down move has happened. My sell signal here on February 3rd was great. ER3 got short in 2 days. Great. Coming down, just great. New low close today probably. Hogs couldn't make it above resistance on Wednesday. Pulled back to close what I have called an upside exhaustion gap, and I said so on Wednesday. Thursday down, today down again. All highs so far are lower than each other. All lows are so far lower than each other, but it's only been a couple of days. And the closes are lower so far, probably. Great. I'm going to move down to, I don't know, 87 probably. What's going to take a week or three? Next, this is the chart of that one stock, got oversold, at support, turned up. We're basically around unchanged, down just a little tiny bit here, 22 cents. I don't know. It's not doing great, but it's doing okay. I'm trying to justify the support holding and developing more strength. Yeah, I'm not seeing it today. I'll stick with my story. I think it's trying to bottom out and start to rally. So here's my last one, the E-mini. Let's look at the 1 minute chart real quick. This is the 5. It's starting to go back up again on the 1 minute data chart. That's about as much detail as you would want to get. I don't know. I told you. I'm not sure whether this thing is about to explode upwards or turn down big. What I can say is it's about to have a pretty substantial move and relatively fast. You guys have a great weekend. Profitable trading to you. Bye-bye.